Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelts. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. Let's go. Hi, and welcome to another exciting edition of the show with no name with your favorite teacher, your best friend. Okay, maybe I'm not your best friend, but hopefully I'm your best teacher. Do you have a teacher that you like more than me? If you do, it's okay. I'm not a jealous guy. I've never been jealous. In fact, the expression we use here is the more, the merrier. ¿Te la sabes? Cuanto más, mejor, más felicidad. Es como yo voy a hacer una fiesta. I'm throwing a party. We don't say to make a party or to do a party. I'm throwing a party and you say, hey, Alberto, my cousin is visiting from my village. Can he come with me to the party? And I say, yeah, man, the more the merrier. Cuanto más mejor, que se una. No pasa nada. So the more English you learn, the better. You can get English all over the place. You can watch this show every day. And remember, you'll learn dozens and dozens of idiomatic expressions, vocabulary, common mistakes, pronunciation tips, and all that jazz. Y todo eso. Mira, ahí tienes otra expresión. And all that jazz. Y todo lo demás. All right, are you ready for a challenge? Because that is something you'll find in every show. You will find tons of challenges in our shows. I make sure of it. Let's see if you know which one of these is correct. The first one. Would you mind to take us a picture? Would you mind to take us a picture? Does that sound correct? What about B? Would you mind taking us a picture? Would you mind taking us a picture? So, uno, el primero es con el infinitivo, el segundo, el gerundio. A ver la tercera. Would you mind taking a picture of us? Sigue con el gerundio, pero cambia la estructura. So the last one again. Would you mind taking a picture of us? ¿Te importaría hacernos una foto? Sería la traducción. All right, your final answer is, did you say B? No, it's not B. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, because B is, would you mind taking us a picture? La estructura está mal ahí. El would you mind va bien, porque eso le sigue el gerundio. Y eso engaña mucho. ¿Por qué? Porque en español, ¿te importaría comer esto? En inglés, ¿te importaría comiendo esto? So, por eso mucha gente se lía con este tiempo verbal, right? So, would you mind taking? Pero ahí, us a picture, no es la estructura. He oído gente también decir, would you mind making us a picture? You know what I do there? Pues te dibujo algo, si quieres. To make a picture es lo que hace mi hija y tengo en la nevera. She draws me a picture. So, la expresión es, could you take a picture of us? Could you take a picture of us? So tiene que ser la fe. Would you mind? Es que es muy polite, por eso hay que saber esta estructura. ¿Te importaría? Would you mind taking a picture of us? O te doy otra opción también. Would you mind taking our picture? So you have two options, but you don't say, would you mind taking us a picture? Right? Tomarnos. I think la gente lo traduce literalmente. Y aquí la estructura no es exactamente igual. So, you have two options. Would you mind taking a picture of us? Or would you mind taking our picture? Or option 3, you can take a selfie.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound...
Hi, welcome to our homophone section. Did you know the word hi is a homophone? Yeah, it is. A ver si sabes tú qué otra palabra suena como hi. Hi, how are you? Hi. ¿Has dicho alto? Hi. También. He said hi from the high building. ¿Ves? See, we're always playing with words here. We love playing with words. Why? Because if you can play with words, it means you've mastered them. ¿No? Si puedes jugar con las palabras, pues las dominas. Dominas la palabra, dominas el idioma.
But obviously that comes from a lot of practice. As we always say, practice makes perfect. Y yo siempre añado mi parte al final. Just ask Rafa Nadal, right? You think Rafa Nadal got good at playing tennis from playing once a week, once a month, an hour a day? I don't think so. I think he practiced, and when he was done practicing, you know what he did? He practiced some more. That's right, because that's what you do if you want to be a champion. That's what you do if you want to be good at anything. Y cuidado con esta, porque he oído gente no saber qué preposición poner. Y dicen, I'm good in languages. Y ahí le digo, pues, justo no. Sería I'm good at. I'm good at. Y lo que recomiendo para practicar esta estructura, que es muy común, ¿no? Domino cosa, no hago bien la otra cosa, hazte una lista. Things you're good at and things you're not good at. So I'm good at speaking English. I'm good at. Fíjate, la D se une con el at, ¿no? I'm good at singing. Me lo estoy inventando, ¿eh? I'm good at basketball. Bueno, y luego practicamos las negaciones. I'm not good at. Pero lo importante es cómo unimos eso. Good at. Y así no vuelves a decir I'm good in tal cosa, sino I'm good at. So the first word that I think you're going to be good at this today is efecto. ¿No? Un efecto de una medicina, un efecto de sonido, un efecto. Okay? The second word is afectar. Afectar. Me afectó mucho su decisión. Me afectó. So what are those two words? Are you familiar with them? And do those two words sound the same? All right, well, I'll say the words for you and you tell me. The first word is effect. Special effect. 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 The second word is effect. All right, voy a decir, el efecto me ha afectado. No, me está empezando a afectar para usar el mismo tiempo verbal. Okay, so the effect is starting to affect me. The effect is starting to affect me. ¿Qué pasa? Son homófonos. Aunque uno es una A y otro es una E, we don't say effect or affect. Lo que pasa es, usamos el mismo sonido, al menos en inglés americano. Okay? De hecho, muchos americanos se equivocan cuando tienen que escribir el uno del otro. So, that didn't have an effect on me. Y ponen efecto. O ponen afecto. So just be careful because even though it's an A and it's an F, it doesn't affect the way it's pronounced. At least in American English. Now remember, my British friends, they might say effect and effect. Pero me suena rarísimo. O sea, la mayoría de la gente no distingue entre affect and effect. ¿Cuál acabo de decir? No sabes porque no distinguimos.
You're joking.
Hello and welcome to You're Joking. That's right, this is a section where we learn English with a little bit of humor because I love to laugh. Seriously, I love to laugh. In fact, I spend most of my day laughing at myself. And you know what? I have to say, the coolest people I've ever met, la gente más chula, más maja, más agradable que he conocido, son los que saben reírse de sí mismo. People who know how to laugh at themselves. Because honestly, and listen, this is just my opinion, I think a lot of people take themselves too seriously. Life is short. Have fun. Laugh, even if it means laughing at yourself. And I'll tell you something. It's a freeing thing. Es algo que te hace sentir libre. When you can laugh at yourself, it makes life less serious. And who needs more seriousness? Oh, let's be serious. Oh, the moment I hear that word, I want to jump out the window. Quiero saltar por la ventana cuando oigo la palabra serious. Ahora te enseño otra forma de decir I'm serious. Voy en serio. ¿Sabes cómo lo decimos? I mean business. I'm here to teach you English and I mean business. Significa que voy en serio. No significa que soy serio. Que voy en serio. Que mi meta, lo que quiero hacer, lo tengo claro y es serio. No que soy una persona seria. So I mean business. What I like about David is he means business. Va en serio con lo que dice, con lo que hace. All right, so let's see if you catch this joke here. Why wasn't the photographer found guilty? Okay, esto es en un juicio. If you're found guilty, pues vas a la cárcel, right? So why wasn't the photographer, y cuidado con esta, primero es con PH, como telephone. Hay muchas Fs que son PHs en inglés. So, y cuidado, no es photographer, es photograph y photographer. So, para no liarnos, porque he oído gente mezclar ahí las dos. So, a photographer takes a photograph. So why wasn't the photographer found guilty? Culpable. Well, in the end, al final, he was framed. You get it? No. A frame, un marco, right? A photographer puts a picture in a frame, right? And to frame is to make somebody else look guilty. There's a very famous movie. Do you know Roger Rabbit? The famous Roger Rabbit movie? Well, in English, it's called Who Framed Roger Rabbit? And to frame, piénsalo, es ponerle en el cartel de wanted. O sea, hacer que alguien parezca el culpable. Tenderles una trampa, I think you say as well. I didn't do it. I was framed. Hicieron ellos que yo parezca culpable. Did you know this word? Did you know that movie? Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Check it out. And remember this. If you've seen the movie, but you haven't seen it in English, you haven't seen the movie. Obviously, right? You can't tell me you've seen The Godfather and you've never heard Marlon Brando say, I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse. No matter how good the voiceover artist is, you've always got to watch the original versions, the way it's meant to be. Why? Because those directors, those actors, they meant business. Hey amigos, welcome to our fun facts, curiosidades. And sure, it's just another way to learn English with music, with movies, with fun facts, and with lots of challenges. And I was just thinking recently about some of my favorite photographs, some of my favorite pictures. And we all know there are some pictures that will go down in history. Because as we say, and I think you say it too, a picture or a photograph says 1,000 words, no? Dice tanto, captura un momento. It captures a moment in time. And there are many amazing photographs that have not just captured a moment in time, but have maybe ended a war. For example, in Vietnam, there's a photograph of a young girl and young children running, and their skin is burning, and they're on fire, and they have looks of terror on their face. And when that photograph reached the United States, a lot of people said, what are we doing in Vietnam? So it made people say, this is what we're doing? This is war? This is not a good thing. Children are dying. Children are screaming in the street. So sometimes a photograph can change history. Like the Tank Man. Do you know that one? ¿Te suena? El hombre tanque. It was the photograph that was taken, and it was an unknown professor. And basically a Chinese man who was in Tiananmen Square, so where the government's offices are. And there are 3 tanks, and they're lined up in front of him. And the man stands in protest in front of those tanks in Tiananmen Square with the government looking on. And he didn't care about the consequences. And this photograph was taken on June 5th, 1989. And that photograph traveled the world. The whole world was in Tiananmen Square with that man, that tank man. And we all were there. We all felt what he felt, that he was sick of it. Estaba harto. And he didn't mind losing his life. That's pretty powerful, bastante impactante. Do you have a favorite photograph? Maybe one from history or maybe a personal favorite photograph. I have a lot of favorite pictures of my daughter. The only problem is I think I have 500 million pictures of my daughter, and I keep getting the same message. Your iCloud is full. Your iCloud is full. Your iCloud is full. So I guess I'm going to have to be just a little more selective with the photos I keep, at least in my cloud or my phone or whatever they call it these days.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Double trouble.
Hello and welcome to our Double Trouble section. This is where we look at words with multiple meanings, and today is no exception. So as always, I want you to listen carefully to this translation and see if you can translate it, but there's a catch. And the catch is you have to use the same word twice, or else it's just a normal translation. It's not a Double Trouble translation. So here we go. Let's see if you can figure it out. ¿Puedes hacernos una foto? Ooh, we've looked at that before on the show, so you should know that one. ¿Puedes hacernos una foto antes de que pierda los estribos, o que me enfado, o que se me va, ¿no? Que me enrabio, right? So, ¿puedes hacernos una foto? ¿Os acordáis cómo se dice eso? Could you take us a picture? Te he pillado. Si te ha sonado bien esa, mal. You have two options, te dije. Could you take our picture? Or could you take a picture of us? Pero vamos a quitar take y ponemos otro verbo. Ya tenemos la estructura, porque eso no cambia. Could you snap a picture of us? Piénsalo. Snap, 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 snap. Las cámaras antiguas, cuando se hacían una foto, hacían snap, 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 porque cerraban, ¿no? Había un mecanismo ahí que se movía. So it would literally make a noise. Ahora los móviles hacen el sonido, pero it's a sound effect, es un efecto de sonido. But back then, you would literally snap, snap, snap a picture. So could you snap a picture of us? Seguro que has oído snapshot, right? This is just a snapshot, una foto, una pieza, right? So good to play with those words. Could you snap a picture of us? Or could you snap our picture before I snap? And if I snap, it means, wah! I go crazy. I lose my temper. And there's another meaning of the word snap. I can't think of it right now. I'm doing it. I'm snapping my fingers. Snap. Yeah, this is to snap as well. And I could have made this a quadruple trouble because we said snap is to lose your cool, to lose your temper. To snap is this. To snap is take a picture, but also to snap something is to break it. No? Oh man, you snapped my favorite pencil. Now I'm gonna snap.
The totally native saying of the day. And it goes a little something like this.
Hey amigos, welcome to the totally native saying of the day. Now, we don't just call them sayings. You can call them sayings, you can call them expressions, or you can call them idioms. Now, esa confunde mucho a mis alumnos. Why? Well, when they hear the word idiom, ¿en qué piensas? Idioma, right? And it's not. Ahora, sí que viene de ahí, porque viene de an idiomatic expression. O sea, idiom al final tiene que ver con idioma, pero no es idioma. An idiom es una expresión supernativa que usamos, a saying, un dicho. And again, these are the key. ¿Y cómo se pronuncia ya que estamos? Idioma. Did you say language? No. Ese age no es age. Yeah, age, what's your age? ¿Cuál es tu edad? Eso sí, pero ahí no es terminación. Ahí es la palabra age. O si es rage, rabia. Pero cuando lo vemos como terminación, ¿sabes pronunciar la palabra puente? ¿Cómo se pronuncia? Bridge. Okay. How would you say ahora, si riman, puente, idioma? Language, bridge. Language, bridge. Y venda, bandage. Bandage. Y pueblo, village. Dime esta frase. Hay un puente en mi pueblo. Deberían rimar. There's a bridge in my village. Ij. El aje es ij. No age, no aje, sino ij. And that's not the idiomatic expression. That's just a pro tip. The idiomatic expression is the big picture. ¿La gran foto? Bueno, más o menos. ¿Qué si te digo, vosotros decís el panorama completo, el panorama total? So, si yo te digo, John, come on, you're not seeing the big picture. No estás viendo, solo estás viendo tu parte, right? You're not looking at the whole thing, the big picture. And it's important, whether you're working on a project or even just, working on personal growth, to see the big picture. But what happens with the big picture? You need perspective, right? And it's really hard to see something when you're in it. Isn't that right? It's always easier to see something in retrospect. Por eso decimos, tenía que haber dicho esto, tenía que haber hecho lo otro. I should have done the other, because when we're in a moment, you don't see the big picture. Think of it this way. You go to the Louvre and you're looking at the Mona Lisa. And you go like this, and you stand right in front of the Mona Lisa, right in it. You're not going to see anything. You're going to see a black spot. But when you step back and you can get some perspective, you see the big picture. So that's why sometimes in our own lives, it's good to take a step back and see the big picture. Sometimes we all need a bird's eye view. ¿Te suena? A bird's eye view, vista de pájaro. So how about you with your English? Are you seeing the big picture?
Lights, camera, action verbs.
Hey folks, I've got a lot of hobbies. I've got a lot of pastimes. But something I've always been interested in, and I've never really looked into it, nunca lo he investigado, photography. So I'm thinking of taking up photography. This is a great phrasal verb. Es un phrasal verb que usamos cuando queremos empezar algo nuevo. He just started to take up piano classes. I'm taking up English classes. Estoy empezando a hacer una actividad. So I'm going to take up a photography class because I want to learn a little bit more about photography. I'm fascinated with composition and the lighting and the background and the foreground and how you put a picture together to tell a story. Because, well, I guess there are a lot of Instagram photographers out there these days, but I want to learn the art of photography. So I'm going to take up photography as a new hobby. You want to join me?
Name that movie.
Hello and welcome to Name That Movie, where we learn a little bit of English from your favorite flicks. And today we're going to look at a flick starring Ben Stiller. Mi mujer le llama Ben Stiller. ¿Ladrón? No, it's not Ben Stiller. It's Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller. And the movie is called The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. It's a movie that came out in 2013, and let's see what we can get from it. Todd says, I pictured you as this little guy. Ahora, sabemos picture es foto, pero picture como verbo es imaginarse. I pictured you as this little gray piece of paper, he says. Este trocito de papel gris. He goes, but now I see you, and it's like Indiana Jones decided to become the lead singer of the Strokes or something. O sea, que le ve en otra luz. Have you seen this comedy with the classic Ben Stiller? Check it out. In English, of course.
It's time for the multiple choice challenge.
Hello and welcome to today's multiple choice challenge. Today I will give you 3 examples, as usual, como de costumbre. I give you 3 examples and only one is correct. So I want you to listen carefully and I want to see if you can figure out, descifrar, averiguar, if you can figure out which one is right. Is it A? Have you ever wore that shirt? A. Have you ever wore that shirt? Have you ever? Es el has alguna vez. Hay que saber esta estructura. B. Have you ever wear that shirt? La B. Have you ever wear that shirt? Y la C. Have you ever worn that shirt? La C is have you ever worn that shirt? Which one's correct? We'll take a look at it in the next class. See you then.